Hey, what's going on everybody? Gundam Flexing here. I'm going to review the just completed Val Walo MA-06. This is the high-grade mechanics, one of 3 in the line. Now the MA-06 Val Walo is the mobile armor that was featured in Stardust Memory. It's a variant of the MA-05 Bigro, which is green, but this one has major improvements. It sports Mega Particle Beam Cannon, 2 anti-air beam guns, 2 missile pods, 110mm Vulcan guns. It also has claws and 3 plasma leaders. Now these were built at Granada during the 1-year war, which is Colony on Moon. It was unfortunately built during the last weeks of the war, so only 3 models were actually put out. And of the 3, 1 survived the war, and that one was featured in Stardust Memory. Now before we get onto the kit itself, we're just going to go on with the extra pieces. Going through the first is the PC runner, upside down. Here we have the extra V pieces here, which are typically for joints. And then we have the extra G right here. And for extra pieces, we have the short arm here, which allows this kit to bring its claws underneath its wings on this side, which we see on this side. And then we have the long arm, which allows it to extend the arm right here. Before we go into the kit again, I want to go over 2 little cool pieces, which is the RX-79 GP0. Now this one is the one that Gato pilots, right? And I think it's very, very high detail. Yes, you have to paint it, but I think the detailing on these are pretty impressive, especially if it's not supposed to be, it's not the main kit. It's actually quite detailed. As you could see here, there are a bunch of linings to separate the pieces, like such as the legs. You can even see the armor. Fortunately, this is pretty fragile. These are very, very fragile actually, and if you're not too careful, you could definitely snap out a little piece, and then it'll spend some time gluing them back together. So how they're built is they come in sections. So here is the shoulder section. Again, it's pretty detailed. You could tell where the divots and all the creases and the detailing are. And then you can take out the left shoulder, which you can gently pop it out there. And then of course you got the arms and the shields. If you can pay attention closely here, this is where it connects to, and again, these are not hard plastic. It's actually, in my opinion, very soft plastic, so if you're not too careful, you can definitely snap these things out. So I'm going to take out the left arm here, which is connected to the shield. I can take out the right arm here, which also holds the bazooka, and that's one piece here. And the main body and the legs are connected to the stand itself. And that goes for the same for the main protagonist's GP0. Here we have a detachable shield, and you gotta be careful with this shield. Why? Because it's literally resting on, not resting, but you insert it on this piece via the back, and you could really easily snap that out. And then you got the arm, which it also comes with a little machine gun beam rifle. Put that on one side. And this also has a backpack with separate thrusters. And I don't want to take that out, but again, this main body fits on the stand, and the stand connects to 2 legs. Very fragile, be careful. I'm not going to paint it. I think they're pretty detailed in and of itself, and I think it looks pretty cool being white itself. Now, going to the kit, here, what I thought was cool that they showed was the art on the pamphlet, right? It comes with the stand, right here. I mean, it's not black, and you have to paint the emblem, but still. The stand itself fits, it's very snug, fits at the bottom of the kit, single piece here. What I also think was interesting was that if we look at the box art here, we could tell has a green mono eye, and the same thing goes with the pamphlet, right? Looks like it has a green mono eye. But in fact, this kit doesn't, and the top of the part actually closes very, very tightly. So I mean, you could raise it if you want, but there is no eye, so you could have a slit if you want. Another thing I'll keep out for is that these three pieces here, I'm going to try to take one out. These are basically two pieces, one that goes on top of the other and engulfs it. So what I thought was strange is that you can't, and once it's in, because it overlaps, you can't really take it out. So you probably want to focus on sanding these pieces before combining them. I wish I knew that prior, because there are little bit segments here and there that you can definitely tell where I cut the piece out of the runner. That's just one thing to look out for. And put it on the back. Ooh, that's not right. There it is. Okay. So let's look at the claws. So this is the short claw, and this is the long claw. These claws basically fit as such here. So that's a PC piece, and claw would go right on. It has a short end of the claw, it has a long end of the claw, and this is how much it could pretty much open his hands. Right? These claws could twist around 360 as such, and it could pretty much have okay wrist control. Okay wrist control. There it is. As such. And the claws, unlike the arms, it's like unlike the MSM-03C High Gok, I was hoping that this arm and the long arm will come with separate pieces so it can actually bend, but it doesn't. It's actually a single piece, two piece, which is just the top and bottom, which is static, so you really can't bend his arm like he's going to flex. But because the arm itself is a ball joint, I'll pop it out like this, it could bend back pretty far if you wanted it to. Not super far where it looks like he's going to give you a massive bear hug, but far enough, like as such. That piece just came out, was just the piece we took out. So again, this is what the bottom part of the kit looks like with the claws. If we were to probably bend this thing back under its wings, there he goes. The Mega Beam Particle Cannon is right here, and it could open as such. And there's the Mega Beam Particle Cannon. Cool. And what's under the Mega Beam Particle Cannon, I suspect, is the Vulcan Cannon right here. I think this is the Vulcan Cannon. I have to rewatch a show. What was that? What did that exactly do? I know it shot out some sort of like electromagnetic wave, which disabled the Gundam, which disabled the main protagonist's Gundam. So here we also see that there's two vents right behind the beak, and these are separate pieces that go underneath the body. The wings are very simple. It's just a top piece and the bottom piece, and you'll be doing a lot of focusing on the sanding. Another thing to note when building this kit is that, again, this kit's from 2002, so I'm not sure how great quality of kits were back then, but putting these two wing pieces together, you'll notice as you build it and you'll put them together is that you probably want to use glue, because it's not going to be touching 100% of the time. There are going to be little spaces here and there that'll expose spaces. So definitely want to go over that and avoid that. Two hardest parts of sanding were these two ends right here. Hopefully you can't see it. Should be fairly smooth. Those were probably the hardest parts, most frustrating, easiest part, I'm sorry, of the sanding. Now we also look at behind the kit itself. It has 3 thrusters here, and that's about it for this kit. Again, it's very, very, very straightforward here. You can put them together like this. This kit reminds me of that Pokemon, that crab Pokemon. There it is, Val Walo. I have the other 2 kits in the HG mechanics ready to go. If you have any questions, just post them down in the area below and I'll get to them. As always, keep your eyes out for the next video. I appreciate you all for watching, and peace out.